good, Commanders family? Welcome to another episode of Everything Commanders. I am your host, Dream Team Buddha. So listen, the Dallas Cowboys did a thing today. They done went out there and Jerry done made him a move that could possibly put the Cowboys back on the map. Am I worried? Do it look like I'm scared? Let's talk about it.
Welcome to Everything Commanders with your host, Dream Team Buddha. Hail to the Commanders.
All right, y'all, so before we get into this video, if you will, do your boy a kind favor, hit that subscribe button, turn the bell notifications on so that way I can keep you in the know with everything Commanders. All right, y'all, and let's get into this video. All right, first off, shout out to the Cowboys because y'all did the big one today, and y'all got the boy GP, George Pickens, from the Steelers today, and I think it was a good move. I think he's a solid piece and whatnot, and I think he'll be a good addition to that Dallas Cowboy offense. However, am I worried? Am I bothered by the fact that y'all got George Pickens and y'all inserted him into y'all offense? Not at all. Not at all. I'm not worried at all. So, y'all Cowboy fans, y'all can stop asking me if I really care, that y'all got him for real. I noticed it, but at the end of the day, the way I see it, you got to prove it to me. You got to prove it to me. Now, I do know this, realistically speaking. All right? I ain't one of the type of people that's going to be in some fantasy world. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I'm going to let you know what I really feel. The way I see it, it's a good thing for George Pickens that he actually get to in the same room with one wide receiver that's considered elite in CeeDee Lamb and a quarterback, a very, very good quarterback. I don't know if you can say he elite, but some people say he elite. Them Dallas Cowboys fans. Most of them. But anyway, so you done paired him with those two guys, and this could mean big things for GP. However, there are some characteristic issues when it comes to George Pickens because George Pickens, he reminds me of a younger Odell Beckham Jr. They always crying about the ball. They want the ball, and they always making distractions, this, that, and the fourth. They doing all this bluffing and whole barking up, and they ain't doing nothing on the field. Now, George Pickens, however, situation was a little different. He didn't really have a quarterback that can give him the ball. And some of us thought that when they signed Russell Wilson to the one-year deal, that would mean sparks will be flying over there in Pittsburgh when they, acquired Russell Wilson, that George Pickens will have himself a hell of a year, a breakout type season. And it did not happen. However, I know Russell Wilson has some slight injury, and your boy, what's your boy name? God daggone, Justin Fields came in and he started for the Steelers for a good amount of the season. And, Justin Fields ain't the type that's going to dot it up with a wide receiver. He's not even a pocket passing type quarterback. Now, fast forward. Y'all seen Jerry Jones, he made a statement before the draft saying they was going to make a trade before the draft or after the draft, but they're going to make some type of big move. Nobody pay him no attention because it's Jerry Jones. We don't care about Jerry Jones. We're not worried about the Cowboys, But at the end of the day, the move was, and they still make moves, and I usually don't report on the Cowboys or anything. This is the Commander situation. This is the state of the Commanders, what we think about this whole situation. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm less concerned about the addition of George Pickens, and I'm more concerned about how the Cowboys improved their offensive line this offseason, okay? When they drafted Tyler Booker, it was one of those situations where it wasn't the sexiest pick. Excuse me. But at the same time, it was a pick that had to be had. They wanted Tat McMillan, and I'd be more worried if they had Tat over GP. That's a whole nother discussion. But they drafted Tyler Booker, and they got those two running backs out the draft. Blue, and I can't think of the other young guy name. And they also got, I think, Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. This means that the Dallas Cowboys can become more balanced. a lot of the pressure was on Dak Prescott to do it all, be Superman, be a hero. He loved taking on that role, but he can't seem to stay healthy. But now, when you put an offensive line around Dak Prescott and you put another weapon of opposite side of CeeDee Lamb, the weight comes off his shoulder. Well, some of that weight comes off his shoulder, and he could kind of like dissect defenses and dice people up. So Jalen Tolbert was never able to get the job done. Brandon Cook's too old. So, yeah, it's a good thing that they actually got GP, but I'm also worried about that front line that they got. Because if you're paying close attention, the Eagles last year, they did what they did because they had an all-pro offensive line, and they had a great running back coming behind the offensive line. They was able to hand that ball off to Saquon Barkley and allow him to go crazy. A.J. Brown, Noah Smitty had a great season last year. They had a productive year, but it could have been better. So at the end of the day, the Giants got better, but nobody worried about the Giants. It's just the Giants. It's just the Giants. What they got? Russell Wilson. They got J-Bo. And they got Jackson Dart. They got 3 quarterbacks. They don't even know who's going to start coming out in the season opener. Only person I'm worried about over there is Malik Neighbors. And on defense, Abdul Carter. But I'm not really worried about Abdul Carter because Josh Conley Jr. owns that young man. And if you think I'm lying, go look at the tape. Go look at the tape. Now, I know they got more pass rushers, more threats than Abdul Carter. Hell, Abdul Carter don't even got a number yet. I don't even know why we even talk about Abdul Carter. You got to prove yourself in the NFL. But I know that we made the moves this year to protect Jaden Daniels so that way we ain't got to worry about none of that situation. You feel me? So, yeah, shout out to the Cowboys again. Y'all got George Pickens, but I don't care. I really don't care. So, I don't even know, why it was brought up to me or whatever the case may be. Hold up. First round draft pick. Oh, I got a news alert and I didn't know what was going on. But kudos to the Cowboys. The whole NFC East got better this year. That's what I will say. In closing, because I didn't want to be before y'all too long. In closing, the whole entire NFC East got better this year. Whether it was the Eagles, the Commanders, the Cowboys, or the Giants. Each and every last team got better, I do believe. Now, the Giants, you gotta, take it slow with them. They could have a breakout year like Jaden Daniels and the Commanders last year. Or they could take them some time. They got Russell Wilson. He's going to pretty much play the safe role. He's going to be a game manager. And he's not the same Russell Wilson from when he was younger. And if J-Bo happened to come in because Russell Wilson can't stay healthy or Jackson Dart can't stay healthy or take the starting position, then, he's a turnover machine, but he still will get you a whole lot of stats. Then you got the Eagles. They still running like a well-oiled machine. I think they got superb. So they still the leaders of the division. They own the division right now because they won the division last year and they won the Super Bowl. So they own the NFL if you want to say it like that. I know it's a new season. But then the Cowboys, you got Dak Prescott who's coming off an injury, and most likely he'll be back to full strength when it comes to the starting of the season. And then they got better with their offensive line. They bossed up their offensive line. They got CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, another weapon over there. They got 3, 4 running backs back there to replace Rico. And then on defensive side, that's where they're a little shaky at, but they ain't never really had no problems on defense. Overshown, him being hurt, that's a big deal. I think that he was a pivotal role player for their defense. I think that with Overshown being down, I don't think he's going to play the first 4 games of the season. But I think with him being down, that will hurt their defense somewhat. Then they did pick up Donovan Azaraku, and some of us had him mocked to come to the Commanders. It was sad to see him go to the Cowboys. I wish he could have went anywhere else, any other division. But he decided to go. Well, he didn't make the decision. Jerry Jones didn't make the decision, and he's with the Dallas Cowboys. Anyway, we ain't got to go deep in depth what they doing, but I'm just saying around the NFC East got stronger. The NFC East definitely got stronger, and I'm looking forward to this upcoming season to see who will come out on top. And y'all already know over the last 20, 30 years, there hasn't been the same division winner back-to-back. No team, whether it's the Cowboys, Commanders, Eagles, or the Giants, has won a division back-to-back. So we hope that trend continues this year, and the Eagles can step aside and the Commanders come in and win a division. We ain't even think about the Cowboys or the Giants, but at the end of the day, all I wanted to say, y'all, when it came down to George Pickens, I ain't worried. And you shouldn't be worried either. They gonna do what they gonna do. They got a new head coach over there, and Schottenheimer, where he was their offensive coordinator, but he's still a new head coach. And he gonna do what he gonna do. We shall see what they do. But I do like the addition that the Cowboys made. I do like the moves that the Giants has made, and I do love the moves that the Eagles made. The Eagles the only team right now that actually scare me. But anyway, that's gonna do it for your boy. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, do your boy a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Turn the bell notification on so that way I can keep you in the know with everything Commanders. And I know this is a bit different of an episode, actually talking about everybody around the NFC East, but I plan on doing these things more often. I plan on covering the NFC East a little bit more often because sometimes it just had to be talked about because I know we all think about the same thing. But anyway, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification and hit that like on this video and share this video. I appreciate you all. Let me know down in the comments. Are you worried about George Pickens? What you think about Cowboys' new addition? I hope you ain't worried. And if you're worried, let's have a conversation because I tell you 100 reasons why you shouldn't be worried. But that's going to do it for your boy. Before I get up out of here, y'all already know how I do things. Left hand up. Who